Welcome to another episode of Adulthood. Thanks for coming back. I've got a slightly different episode today. We're not going to be working on the Range Rover. We are starting a new project. Arlo is looking to build a jump bike. It's not something I've done before myself, but I've built plenty of bikes, bits and pieces in the past, but jump bikes are quite specific, I'm learning. So we are basically kicking off with Arlo having bought a frame from Facebook Marketplace. It's an old DMR frame. We think it's a DMR drone. It's in reasonably good condition. It's been customed at some point, so the paint's a bit all over the place, and it's been made quite unique. So it essentially just needed stripping off. So we've took it one evening and we nitro-moored it. So we put a paint stripper on it, took the majority of it off, and then I sat in the front driveway for about 3 hours, wire wheeling the entire frame, which was pretty long-winded actually. I thought it took a bit shorter than that, but either way, it came out pretty well. And then I've left it, and just all we did is do an etch coat on it. And the next parts will be basically choosing the type of paint we want to do. We're looking to do like a crystalline effect, but we'll do that next. Okay, so we are getting to the point now we're going to paint Arlo's bike today. That's the plan anyway. We've already etch primed this, and I think you may have seen in an earlier video. I stripped down all the rest of the paint off, wire brushed the whole bike, cleaned it all off, and then etch primed it. So it is etch primed, ready to go. The next stage for us to do is to scotch pad this, smooth it all off, and then we're going to do a coat in silver. I'll show you the stuff we've got. So we've got reflex silver, which I had a ton of when we did some work on the Audi. So that happens to be a particularly nice metallic silver. Then we brought the metallic black, which is what's going to be going with that, which we'll show you later on. We've got the candy colour, which we're not going to tell you the colour of until we actually go to do it. And then we've got a couple of clear coats as well. We won't need both of these, it was just cheaper to buy it that way. So we've actually gone for a matte varnish on this as well, which I'm quite looking forward to seeing the effect of. That'll be a little bit later down the line. We're going to be doing the crystal effects, which we learned from Ito, is it? Yeah. Ito? On his videos, which are absolutely brilliant. We'll stick a link in the description to the video we watched. We've got some urea, and we've got some ox bile as well. Ox gall, which is the same as ox bile. Both off Amazon, not particularly costly, an experience to do, but essentially it's like a wetting agent and a crystalline effect. And you dab it on the bike, it forms crystals, you paint over it, and then you wipe the crystals off. Essentially, you're using these things to make like crystalline templates. But for the time being, we've got to basically get the bike scotch padded off, nice and clean, and painted silver. So that is the next thing to do. Now obviously we're outside, so I'm not particularly worried about masks. Arlo needs to stay basically out the way, so you can feel where the wind's coming from. It's coming from...
Wait, I got an idea.
From over there, I think, isn't it?
Look.
Yes. Nice one. Spray alcohol into your face.
Yeah, it's coming.
Don't do that at home. It's coming from over that way, so you want to stay behind this way as much as possible. You can sort of stand around this way or something like that, that's fine. And then we'll do try not to cover the parasol in silver paint. Fingers crossed. We ready?
Yep.
the silver down, silver metallic. So we've used Reflex Silver, which is an Audi TT colour from 2009. We had some when I was repairing Duran's car, so actually it's covered really nicely. It's a really pretty silver. And on that dark etch as well, etch primer, it's come up really nice, a real depth to it. We are going to be leaving the back end silver from about here. This will actually be clear coated, and that's essentially done now until we clear coat the whole bike. So Arlo wants to do from roughly about here, we're going to be doing the crystalline effect with the candy colour. The secret candy colour, which we'll tell you afterwards. It sounds like orange. It doesn't, just joking. So yeah, we've got most of the paint on the back end, because obviously that's going to be staying silver. I want as much coverage as possible, but it has covered really nicely. And then this front end we'll be doing the FX. So yeah. Watch this space. Okay, so we're going to start making the Crystal FX solution. This has come from Eto. It's a big shout out to Eto. Eto, sorry Arlo. Eto. He's absolutely brilliant.
E-T-O-E, if you want to search him up on YouTube. Brilliant.
He is absolutely brilliant. We love the guy. He's just so much fun to watch. So we're following your instructions. Let's see how it goes. We've got the bike is now painted silver. We're going to be going slightly different colours from Eto, but essentially we're using the same process. So fingers crossed. I've never done this before, so we are literally going to be doing. This is a first time thing. So we're going to do everything by weight. So we need 50 grams of urea. So
which is makes the crystals.
Okay, so 50 grams.
What is that?
I don't know why it keeps changing. Of urea, it's organic nitrogen, and then we need 50 millilitres of water.
Distilled.
Of distilled water, sorry. Now, because it's quite difficult to read, I'm doing this by weight. So I'm going to do, it's just below 50, I just looked it up, it's 50, I always thought.
48.5.
Yeah, I always thought water was, 50 millilitres would be 50 grams, and it's not quite at room temperature, the mass is slightly different. So it's just below 50. So we want to get this now, it's a 98.5 or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's do that. There we go.
I'll drink some.
You can, it's just distilled water. That's that, and then we need 1.5 grams of ox bile.
And this is the wetting agent.
This is the wetting agent, yeah. This is what makes it spread out, essentially. But this is incredibly difficult to get 1.5 grams, so I'm going to do what I can. There we go. All right. I've got no idea what this stuff actually is. Is it actually bile? But it's gross. So, we've now got basically a 100-gram solution now, which I'm now going to use just a teaspoon to stir it all up and dissolve it.
It doesn't look like this could spread on a bike.
No. I'm not sure whether it's supposed to dissolve or not. It doesn't seem to be dissolving. In about 10 minutes or so, as you can see, it does dissolve. It just takes
time.
A bit of patience. So the best thing to do is just get a spoon and stir it and sort of crush as you're doing it. There might be an easy way to dissolve these nitrogen crystals, but I don't really know what that is. So we're just doing it like that, and it has dissolved mostly. We're about 80% done, I think, now. Maybe another 5-10 minutes or so, something like that. It should be ready. So we think we're ready. So have a quick close look. There's still one or two knocking about, but I don't think that's going to cause much of a problem. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, we can see.
Pretty clear. So that has got everything in it. That's the distilled water, so that's 50 millilitres or just shy of 50 millilitres of distilled water, 50 grams of the urea, organic nitrogen, and 1.5 grams of ox gall. Probably a little bit more than that, I think, of ox gall, but it's just a wetting agent, so that shouldn't be much of a problem. So I'm going to do the first little bit, and then Arlo's going to take over with the sponge. and which is forever now what it's going to be called, a sponge. And we're going to try and get the bike covered in this solution. Hopefully we have enough here. I think we should have enough here.
I mean, Ito did, and he had a massive.
Yeah, he did. He did the whole bike as well. So I'm also hoping it's okay to do it in direct sunlight. So we should be okay. So let's get this on. So we've got the solution. We've got the sponge. So we're going to basically just get the whole bike completely wet. I'm going to start it, and Arlo's actually going to do the rest. We need to make sure we cover the entire bike, otherwise the crystals just simply won't grow on it. I've got no idea how well this is going to cover. We've never done this before. Seems to soak up quite easily, so
That's good.
fingers crossed. Okay, so we've got crystals. Now it's not exactly as we hoped, although it's difficult to tell really.
This side looked better than the other side.
Yeah, we've got a couple of streaky bits, and I'm not quite sure how that will show up when we actually go to take the paint off. But there are definitely lots of crystals that have grown.
It looks very nice, and I wasn't sure what it was meant to look like, because I'm not a bike person.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So Arlo is now shaking up the couple of, like along here, for example. This looks a bit streaky, so I'm not sure how that's going to go. That might not go very well, but we'll see. We're going to be putting stickers along here, anyway, so I'm not too worried about that.
That's what it's going to say, guys. You're not going to see it. It's a surprise. Oh,
so that's what we've got. So Arlo is shaking up the black. There he is, shaking up the black. That's enough of that. Okay, so we have got a bit of a dilemma, kind of, in the sense that, oh, this has only started unwinding, is that the crystals have not grown how we thought they would grow. They did to a degree, and I don't know if you can see around here, they have started to grow. And certain areas have started to grow and that kind of stuff. So either I didn't put enough black paint on, which is probably what happened, we're not quite sure. So we started stripping it off, and we thought, well, we're going to have to do it again. And then we kind of like the look of it.
Like a graffiti
This
style.
kind of, yeah, it's like it's rough sanded, but it's still got a bit of the crystal stuff on it. It looks quite deliberate. And I quite like it myself. Arlo quite likes it. And we're both a little bit impatient, and neither of us particularly want to spend another 60 quid on paint. But I think that with the candy colour on the top, maybe even the whole bike. I'll cut out the fact you said the colour. But I personally think the whole bike would look awesome in it. But it's not my bike.
I don't know. Well, how about we start off with up front?
Because it's quite plain underneath here.
Yeah. start off up front and then work.
Can't see from over there, but this is kind of what we mean. This is this effect of kind of a distressed kind of look. Although it wasn't quite what we were going for, on this occasion, I quite like it. So that is what we're going to try and candy in Arlo's chosen colour. So fingers crossed.
hope and burgers and food.
Yes. What do we reckon then?
I like it. I really like it, and it's like I'm not even that interested in it. I still really like it.
For a first paint as well, that's pretty good.
For something unique, it's not going to look like anyone else's.
No.
Completely fingerprint special in it, in the sense that there's no other bite like it.
Mm.
I do like that matte finish as well, actually.
And the drip marks that the streaks that you said that what might not come out well, they actually look awesome with it.
Yeah.
So that's where we leave it. We got the base silver on, the black coat, the silver of the Crystal FX. Didn't quite go to plan. It never does it? But actually this kind of distressed one-of-a-kind look, Arlo was really happy with. So we kept that, put the purple candy on top, a couple of coats of matte varnish, and I think we're all pretty chuffed with the final look, actually. So this is what we decided to go for. And fingers crossed, Arlo carries on liking it, and it's time to make the transfers and the stickers and the bits and pieces to go on it. So until we do a follow-up video on that, that's it on this one. Didn't quite go to plan as Ito's Crystal FX did, but I think we know why that was. I think it was, we would probably spray the Crystal FX on with just a little hand sprayer rather than a sponge. It was definitely too hot in the direct sunshine, so we won't do that again. Definitely do it in the shade, give it a chance to sort of cover and gradually evaporate and grow those crystals. But otherwise, really happy with that. So once again, thank you ever so much for coming to see the videos. If you'd like to see more of these sorts of projects, please do consider liking and subscribing. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks.